Today I'm going to cook chicken tortilla soup, and I'm going to make it in the Cosori multi-cooker. I use the slow cook method, and even though it's going to cook all day long, I am going to use some nice shortcuts to get it started. So come on up close and I'll show you what I'm going to put in it. Okay, here's the ingredients. I'm going to use a bag of frozen corn, a couple stalks of celery, a little butter, some cilantro fresh, an onion, a jalapeno, some chipotle Tostitos salsa. This is medium heat. Some shredded carrots, adobo seasoning. Adobo seasoning has garlic, oregano, and other seasonings in there. Some tortilla strips, also some vegetable broth, and a rotisserie chicken. That's the real shortcut right there. And I'm also going to use a little flour to get this started. Alright, first I'm going to do a little prep work here and chop up small chunks of celery, some cilantro, onion, and jalapeno. And then we'll get started. Okay, we have some ingredients chopped up now to get this started. We're going to turn the multi-cooker on. Now some of you have seen Rick and I cook with this Cosori multi-cooker a couple times now. We really love it. It does a lot of different things. But let me show you on here some of the options. It'll slow cook, it'll oven roast, it'll bake. It has manual settings and presets for rice, yogurt, boiling as if you're on a stove. You can brown, simmer, saute, steam, high, low, medium. It does a lot of different things. Or you can change the cooking time and temperature manually on your own if you'd like. So what I'm going to do right now is start it up on the saute mode. Okay, turn it to saute, and you can see that it goes to 284 degrees, and it will come up to temperature and beep. But in the meantime, I'm going to throw in about a third of a stick of butter, and that's how we're going to start sauteing our onions and celery and carrots. And when you're ready to start heating it up, just press start. You can see the temperature gauge changed, and once it comes up to the temperature that is required for sauteing, that'll show you what the degrees are. Okay, the temperature is up to 284. Gave us a little beep to see that, and the butter's starting to sizzle. Let's throw in the onions and the celery. Good soup. And I'm going to use a little bit more than a cup of shredded carrots as well. Stir them around, and we'll let them saute a little bit to get started with the flavors of this nice tortilla soup. We'll just keep stirring them every once in a while until they start to become translucent. Alright, while this sizzling is going on, and using the moisture that's in there from the butter and the vegetables, I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of flour. I have a 1/4 cup measure here, so we're just going to sprinkle this around and stir that in, and that'll help to thicken the soup while it's cooking today. Alright, now we don't want to thoroughly cook these vegetables because they'll be cooking all day long. So let's start adding the other ingredients. I'm going to take the jalapeno, Got a healthy handful of jalapeno tidbits here. We're going to sprinkle them in. And take the cilantro, chopped up, not real fine, but chopped up pretty small pieces. And take this bag of corn. This is a 16-ounce bag of regular yellow corn, frozen. And I'm going to introduce that into the pot. And that's an important part of the tortilla soup. And I still have it on saute mode. I'm going to keep this hot while we get everything ready. Mix it all good. Lots of good flavors in there. I'm using vegetable broth, a shortcut like this, or you can use chicken broth if you like that better. I'm going to fill that in. And this is 32 ounces in case you're buying cans or something separate from what I have. Stir everything good, and then we can add. Now I'm using medium heat Chipotle Tostitos salsa. I think it has a lot of great flavor. I do add the jalapenos for a little extra heat. Alright, let's add the salsa. I'm going to use the whole jar. Lots of flavor in there. That salsa provides us with a nice shortcut from having to chop the garlic and tomatoes and all kinds of things that go into that. So next I'm going to take the rotisserie chicken and I'm going to cut that into small pieces. Rotisserie chicken is a valuable shortcut. Even though we're cooking this all day, you could use raw chicken and let it cook all day. But if you were going to speed it up a little bit, you could take the meat off of the rotisserie chicken and go with that. Now I use a lot of rotisserie chickens because they're cooked so nicely, they're nice and moist, and they actually are cheaper in many cases than buying one of your fresh chickens. If you buy a chicken, this 5 to 6 pound chicken, it costs you more than to buy the rotisserie chicken already cooked like this in a lot of cases. Alright, let's take a look in here. Now the soup is loaded with chicken and all the vegetables. And if you wanted to make it a larger batch, you could also add some water here. But I'm going to let it go like this. I think this is perfect for the amount of soup I want to have. And I'm going to add some adobo seasoning now. And then this takes the place of adding salt and pepper. Alright, now I still have it on the saute mode, so it's time to switch over. It's still cooking nicely in there. In fact, you can see it bubbling every once in a while. But now I'm going to change it to the slow cook method and put the lid on it for the day. First thing I have to do is cancel the saute mode. Then I'm free to move this to low on the slow cook method. The slow cook method is a preset and it goes to 182 degrees. So that'll hold it at a safe temperature while it cooks all day long, and it's automatically set on 8 hours. Now we could change the temperature or the time, but I'm fine with that. And I'll be back in 8 hours and we'll be getting our supper out of this pot. At that time, we're going to add the tortilla strips to the top of the soup. Alright, our cooking time is finished. Let's take a look here. Does that look delicious? Alright, I'm up into a bowl. That's a nice southwestern style chicken soup. This is going to be a good one for a cold fall day. Alright, now I'm going to put it on a plate over here. And we're going to top it off with some tortilla strips. You can either toast your own tortilla shells or use the tricolor strips if you like that. Add a little crunch to your soup. Might need a couple more to throw on later as you eat it. Try this recipe for chicken tortilla soup. I think you'll find it really tasty. And it's not much work at all when you use all the shortcuts that I showed you. And also the Cosori does the hard work when it cooks it all day long. Okay, thanks for watching.